They say love is blind. They say love conquers all. But unfortunately for the 12 individuals we are about to meet, love does not conquer gravity, electricity, or the fundamental principles of human biology. When oxytocin and dopamine flood the brain, the frontal lobe, the part responsible for logic and survival, tends to take a vacation. This biological short circuit leads people to do insane things in the name of romance. Welcome to the romance edition of Natural Selection. Here are 12 dumbest ways people died for love. A quick warning before we begin. 1. The Romeo of Gravity. We begin with a tale as old as time. The forbidden lover sneaking in. Meet Kevin, a 20-year-old college student who wanted to surprise his girlfriend Jessica on her birthday. Jessica lived on the second floor. Her parents were downstairs watching TV. The front door was not an option. Kevin, channeling his inner Shakespeare, spotted a PVC drain pipe running up the side of the house, right next to Jessica's window. "I'll climb up," Kevin thought. "It's just like the movies." Here is the engineering problem. PVC, polyvinyl chloride, drain pipes are designed to carry rainwater, which weighs very little. They are attached to the wall with thin aluminum brackets held in place by short masonry screws. These screws are designed to handle shear force, downward weight, of maybe 20 pounds. They are not designed to handle tensile force, pulling away from the wall. Kevin weighed 185 pounds. He grabbed the pipe and began to shimmy up. For the first 6 feet, it held. But as he got higher, he leaned back to grab the windowsill. This changed the vector of force. He was no longer pulling down, he was pulling out. Leverage is a powerful multiplier. Kevin's body acted as a lever. The top bracket popped out of the brickwork with a sound like a gunshot. Then the second, then the third. The entire 20-foot pipe peeled away from the house like a banana skin. Kevin fell backward from a height of 15 feet. He didn't land on soft grass. He landed on the concrete AC unit patio. The impact shattered his T12 vertebrae and caused massive cranial trauma. Jessica opened her window just in time to see her boyfriend and the plumbing lying in a heap on the ground. He wanted to be a climber. He ended up as a crash test dummy. 2. The hot tub time machine. Nothing says romance like a hot tub, but real hot tubs are expensive. Enter Travis and his fiancée, who wanted a spa night on a budget. Travis bought a large inflatable kiddie pool and filled it with water. The problem? It was December. The water was freezing. Travis didn't have a pool heater, but he did have a portable electric space heater, the kind with glowing orange coils that you plug into the wall. Travis had a brilliant idea. He placed the space heater on a stack of plastic crates right next to the edge of the pool, aiming the heat directly at the water. "It'll warm up the surface," he reasoned. He and his fiancée got in. The water was splashing. The couple was moving around. You can see where this is going. Water is a conductor, but it's the impurities in the water, salts and minerals, that really carry the charge. One large splash hit the precarious stack of crates. The space heater tipped over and fell into the bathwater. 120 volts of electricity discharged instantly into the water. Because Travis and his fiancée were submerged, their wet skin offered almost zero resistance. The current traveled through their bodies, seizing their muscles instantly. This is known as the no-let-go phenomenon. They couldn't stand up, they couldn't scream. Their hearts went into ventricular fibrillation immediately. They were found the next morning floating in a DIY electric chair. Travis wanted to bring the heat, but he brought the lightning instead. 3. The underwater proposal. Proposals are high-stress events. Add water, and they become deadly. Stephen planned the ultimate proposal. He and his girlfriend were staying in an underwater hotel room in Tanzania, a room submerged 15 feet below the surface with large glass windows. Stephen's plan was to swim down from the surface, free diving without a tank, and hold a sign against the glass that said, "Will you marry me?" He swam down. He pressed the paper against the glass. His girlfriend inside gasped, laughed, and clapped. It was beautiful. Stephen smiled, gave a thumbs up, and kicked to go back to the surface. But Stephen had made a physiological error. In his excitement and nervousness, he had hyperventilated before diving to store up oxygen. Hyperventilation lowers your carbon dioxide levels. The urge to breathe is triggered by high CO2, not low oxygen. By purging his CO2, Stephen tricked his brain. He ran out of oxygen before his body felt the urge to breathe. This is called shallow water blackout. Just 3 feet from the surface, Stephen's brain simply shut down. He didn't struggle. He just went limp and sank back down to the sandy bottom, while his fiancée watched through the glass thinking he was playing a prank. He drowned in plain sight, holding his breath for a moment that lasted forever. 4. The Chimney Santa. We all know the story of Santa Claus coming down the chimney. Dr. Miller, a 28-year-old physician, thought it would be a hilarious and romantic way to surprise his girlfriend on Christmas Eve. He climbed onto her roof with a sack of gifts. "I'll just slide down, pop out of the fireplace, and propose," he thought. Dr. Miller, being a doctor, should have understood anatomy. The average chimney flue is about 12 inches by 12 inches. Dr. Miller's shoulders were 18 inches wide. He lowered his legs in, then his waist. Gravity pulled him down. But as his chest entered the flue, his arms got pinned above his head. He became wedged. He tried to exhale to make himself smaller to wiggle free. He slid down another 6 inches, but when he tried to inhale, he couldn't. The friction of the bricks against his chest prevented his rib cage from expanding. This is called positional asphyxia. Every time he breathed out, he slipped deeper and got tighter. Every time he tried to breathe in, the walls stopped him. It is a slow, terrifying vice. He was stuck in the chimney for 8 hours. By the time his girlfriend lit a fire in the morning and noticed the smoke backing up, Dr. Miller had long since suffocated. The fire department had to dismantle the chimney brick by brick to recover his body. He wanted to be Santa. He ended up as a blockage. 5. The Skylight Stargazer. There is something romantic about looking at the stars. Mark and Sarah decided to climb onto the roof of their apartment building to watch a meteor shower. They found a nice raised platform to lie on. It was a skylight, a plastic dome over the building's atrium. "It's thick plastic, it holds snow," Mark said. "It can hold us." Mark failed to account for UV degradation. The sun emits ultraviolet radiation. Over 20 years, UV rays break down the polymer chains in plastic, turning it from a strong, flexible material into something as brittle as an eggshell. Mark and Sarah, a combined weight of 320 pounds, sat on the dome. They leaned back. The plastic didn't bend, it shattered. It crumbled instantly into razor-sharp shards. The couple fell through the hole. They fell 40 feet down the atrium shaft. They landed in the lobby, right next to the decorative fountain. Physics dictates that falling 40 feet results in an impact velocity of 35 miles per hour. Neither survived the landing. They wanted to see the stars, but they ended up seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. 6. The Garage Picnic. Privacy is hard to find, especially for young couples living with parents. Jason and Emily decided to have a date night in Jason's car. It was raining outside, so they stayed in the garage. It was cold, so Jason turned on the car engine to run the heater. They cracked the windows slightly, thinking that would be enough ventilation. "We just need a little airflow," Jason said. They were in a confined space. A car engine produces carbon monoxide, CO, at a rate that can fill a standard garage with lethal concentrations in less than 10 minutes. CO is an odorless, colorless gas that binds to the hemoglobin in your blood 200 times stronger than oxygen. It's a silent assassin. Jason and Emily didn't cough or choke. They just started to feel cozy and sleepy. They thought it was romance. It was actually hypoxia. They fell asleep in each other's arms and never woke up. His parents found them the next morning. The car had run out of gas and the battery was dead, just like the occupants. It was the ultimate tragic nap. 7. The Heroic Lift. Men love to show off their strength. It's a primal mating ritual. "Look at me, I can lift heavy things." Brad was on a first date with a girl he really liked. They walked out to her car and saw she had a flat tire. Brad wanted to be the knight in shining armor. He didn't have a jack, but he had muscles and an ego. "I can lift the bumper," Brad said. "You slide the spare tire on." He squatted down and deadlifted the rear corner of the Honda Civic. That's about 600 pounds of weight. He strained. His face turned red. He grunted. He actually managed to lift it a few inches. But the human body has internal pressure limits. This is known as the Valsalva maneuver, holding your breath while straining. This spikes your blood pressure to dangerous levels. Brad had a pre-existing, undiagnosed aneurysm in his thoracic aorta, the main artery coming out of the heart. The massive spike in blood pressure caused the artery to dissect, tear. He dropped the car. He stood up, dusted off his hands, smiled at his date, said, "There you go," and then immediately collapsed. He bled out internally within minutes. He successfully lifted the car, but he lowered his life expectancy to 0. 8. The love potion overdose. Desperation breeds stupidity. Gary, a 40-year-old who felt the spark was fading in his marriage, decided to try an aphrodisiac. He went online and bought Spanish fly from a shady website. Real Spanish fly is made from the crushed bodies of blister beetles. It contains cantharidine, a toxic blistering agent. It's not an aphrodisiac. It's a poison that causes inflammation in the urinary tract, which people mistake for arousal. Gary thought, if a little is good, a lot is better. He poured 5 times the recommended dose into his celebratory champagne. He drank it. Within an hour, the cantharidine began to destroy the lining of his gastrointestinal tract. He started vomiting blood. His kidneys began to fail as they tried to filter the toxin. Instead of a romantic night of passion, his wife spent the night holding his hand in the ER as his organs shut down one by one. He died of multi-organ failure caused by chemical poisoning. He wanted to spice up his life. He ended up embalming himself from the inside. 9. The cliffside selfie. We return to the digital age where if you didn't post it, did you even love each other? Andre and Sophia were hiking a coastal trail in Portugal. They found a breathtaking cliff edge with a 200-foot drop to the rocks below. They wanted the golden hour photo, the sun setting behind them, the wind in their hair. They turned their backs to the ocean to frame the shot. They held the selfie stick high. "Back up a little more," Andre said, looking at the screen, not his feet. Proprioception is your body's ability to know where it is in space. When you are looking at a screen, your proprioception is impaired. Sophia took one step back. Her heel found empty space. She grabbed Andre's arm for balance. Physics is cruel. Instead of pulling her back, she pulled his center of gravity forward. They went over the edge together, locked in a final, terrified embrace. The phone was left on the cliff edge, still recording. It captured the sound of their scream and the distant thud, followed by the peaceful sound of seagulls. The photo was perfectly framed, but the subjects were out of the picture. 10. The trust fall. Trust is the foundation of any relationship. But usually, that means trusting your partner with your secrets, not with your mass times acceleration. Tyler and his girlfriend were adrenaline junkies. They broke onto a bungee jumping bridge at night, but they didn't have bungee cords. They just wanted the thrill of standing on the edge. Tyler had a romantic idea. "Let's do a trust lean," he said. He held her hands. He leaned back over the abyss, relying on her weight to counterbalance him. It's a move straight out of a dance routine. But physics involves friction. Tyler was wearing worn-out sneakers. The metal grating of the bridge was damp with evening dew. As Tyler leaned back, his feet slipped. He jerked forward, pulling his girlfriend with him. But because he was heavier, 200 pounds versus 120 pounds, his momentum carried him over the rail. He didn't let go of her hands. He pulled her over with him. They fell 150 feet into the river below. Water from that height acts like concrete. The surface tension doesn't break fast enough for the body to enter smoothly. The impact killed them both instantly. It was the ultimate trust fall, but nobody was there to catch them. 11. The graffiti artist. There is a tradition of spray painting "I love you" on highway overpasses. It's vandalism, but it's romantic vandalism. Leo wanted to tag his girlfriend's name, Amanda, on the central span of a busy interstate bridge. To reach the middle, he couldn't stand on the ledge. He decided to hang upside down by his legs, hooked over the railing like a bat. He was spraying away, painting a beautiful silver A. He was hanging down about 4 feet from the bridge deck. The bridge had a clearance of 15 feet. This left 11 feet of space below him. Most cars are 5 feet tall. Most trucks are 13.5 feet tall. Leo was focused on his art. He didn't hear the 18-wheeler approaching at 65 miles per hour. The truck driver didn't see the dark figure hanging in the shadows. The top of the trailer clipped Leo. At 65 miles per hour, the force was unimaginable. It didn't just knock him off, it disintegrated the upper half of his body. Amanda was never finished. The only thing he left on that bridge was a cautionary tale about clearance heights and spatial awareness. 12. The escape artist proposal. Finally, we have the most elaborate and confusing plan of all. Meet Daniel. Daniel was a magician, an amateur one. He wanted to propose to his girlfriend, Lisa, by performing a great escape. His plan? Handcuff himself to the radiator in their apartment. Swallow the key. When Lisa came home from her weekend trip, he would tell her he swallowed the key and the ring was on the table. He would then magically produce the key, having passed it through his system. Gross, but okay. Free himself and propose. He swallowed the key. He cuffed himself. He waited. Problem 1. The key got stuck in his pyloric sphincter, the exit of the stomach. It didn't pass. Problem 2. Lisa's flight was canceled. She texted him, but his phone was on the table out of reach. Daniel was trapped. He couldn't reach his phone. He couldn't reach food. He couldn't reach water. The radiator was on, making the room hot and accelerating his dehydration. He spent 3 days chained to the radiator. He yelled, but the neighbors were used to him practicing his loud magic acts and ignored it. By the time Lisa unlocked the apartment door on Tuesday, Daniel had died of dehydration and renal failure. He was slumped over, still cuffed, staring at the engagement ring he would never give. He pulled off the disappearance trick of a lifetime, but forgot the reappearing part. 12 lovers, 12 tragedies. 12 reminders that while the heart wants what it wants, the brain needs to stay involved in the decision-making process. Romance is beautiful, but physics is mandatory. If your grand gesture involves electricity, heights, poison, or holding your breath underwater, maybe just buy a card instead. So, I have to ask, which of these acts of love made you lose faith in humanity? Was it the chimney Santa or the electric hot tub? Drop a comment below. And if you want to survive until Valentine's Day, smash that subscribe button. We'll be here, analyzing the stupidity so you don't have to repeat it. Stay safe, stay single, or just stay smart, and I'll see you in the next one.